Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky lawmakers passed several controversial bills during the legislative session. And a local animal shelter hosts an event to help pet owners keep their furry friends safe from a common virus that can lead to severe illness or worse.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, it's Monday again, and I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Almost 5 o'clock here. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast this morning. And Brandon, on my way in this morning, kind of misty out there.
Kind of a miserable type morning. Yeah, but it's drizzle, it's mist, might be a few snowflakes. It all depends on temperature, and that trend's going to continue for most of today as we see another cold snap rolling through the mountains. Let's take a look, see what's been going on over the last few hours. Again, nothing substantial, but it is out there. Some moisture floating around this morning. Now, again, could be drizzle, could be mist, could be flakes. It all just depends on the temperature, like I said earlier. Visibility issues. We got several spots there below 5 miles, and again, Logan at 0, Pikeville, Jackson, Williamsburg at 4, Harlan at 5. So just be careful out there this morning, especially in some of those higher elevations. Temperatures across the board, 32 in Wise to 41 in Jacksboro. Almost called it 40 there in Monticello, but again, mid to upper 30s for the most part this morning. That's going to be the trend of the day. We're not going to move a whole lot until later today, and we're not going to move a whole lot then. A little extra on the coffee meter because it's Monday and because it's chilly. As you'll see here, we will climb slightly into the low 40s this afternoon, but you got to factor in a northwest wind that's also going to bring us some wind chills. We'll talk more about all that coming up here in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Addiction recovery specialists have been working together to find solutions that can slow down the spread of a powerful drug, fentanyl. The CDC says many opioids may contain fentanyl, but it is hard to see, smell, or taste. Despite the drug's hidden form, experts say it's 100 times stronger than morphine. Spark Ministries regional coordinator Jenny Combs says even the smallest amount can be deadly.
The problem with fentanyl is you never know what you're getting. You think that you're taking one thing, you're taking another, and the effects of it are so quick and so active that it's hard once it's in the process to even stop it.
Combs is working with the Perry County government to counter addiction issues in the area. So far this legislative session, we've seen several controversial bills passed. Friday, the Kentucky Senate passed a bill that would ban drag shows on public property and anywhere minors are present. Senate Bill 115 now heads to the House. Senate Bill 47 would give Kentuckians access to medical marijuana if recommended by their doctor. The bill is on the agenda for the Senate Committee on Licensing and Occupations on Tuesday, along with the gray machine bill, which passed the House. Last week, a legislative panel unanimously passed a bill to legalize and regulate sports betting in Kentucky.
The bill before you today will put this industry in a legal and regulated status so that everyone knows what the framework is.
Lawmakers will meet through Thursday, then adjourned for a veto session before coming back on March 29th. The session ends March 30th. West Virginia Republicans swiftly approved a proposal to add mental health exemptions to a bill that would ban certain health care for transgender youth. The legislation would prohibit gender-altering medication and surgery to most anyone under the age of 18. Saturday's vote came one day after the Senate Majority's leader led an effort to protect hormonal therapy for certain children with severe gender dysphoria.
There was up to a 70% reduction in suicide. I mean, that in itself should say enough, but the fact that these kids get their life back.
Which is more important, these children or how we're perceived by our voters? And the lives of these children are critical for us to protect, and this is a very narrow allowance.
The Senate's majority leader contends the legislation is about protecting children, both in prohibiting gender-altering surgery and protecting therapy for those who need it most. The bill now heads to the governor. During the weekend, the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter hosted free parvo vaccinations for dogs at 4 different locations across the region. Those with the animal shelter say they've seen an increase in parvovirus in dogs recently, so they wanted to host a free vaccination event at easily accessible locations so people can come out to use these services. The event also included pet adoptions and grooming services.
And we're trying to get the word out to people, especially with new puppies, how vital it is to get these vaccines in. You can get parvo just by setting them on the grass, or maybe another person handling a dog that had parvo. It's just spread so easily.
The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter will be hosting more parvo vaccination events in the next few months. The shelter also offers a low-cost spay and neuter program. Well, thank you so much for getting your Monday morning started with the Sierra Mountain News this morning. When we come back, a strong storm is expected to blow through the northeast while California deals with even more flooding.
It's been a chilly morning, and it looks like the winter-like temperatures aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.